Yes. How are we doing? Press conference
yo.
reaction time.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a mad one, bro. A bit of good news, but a bit of bad news. Not bad news, but worrying news, concerning news regarding Erling Haaland, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there was rumours going around that he had a foot injury. It was kind of a mad 72 hours because it was like they were saying, oh yeah, he had a fever, and then it was like he got a foot injury, and it all kind of went mad. So we're going to cover that. Pep Guardiola has been speaking about Erling Haaland's foot issue, and we're going to tell you all about that in just a second. Before we do get into it, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let's get those likes up. Where we at right now, we got over 100 people in the building, only 33 likes, so please drop a thumbs up on the stream if you've not done so already. Let's get them likes past 50 likes, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. I want to say a massive shout out as well to our sponsor today. It is the guys at Manscaped. If you guys have not already got yourself a lawnmower 4.0, then I don't know what you're doing. We'll play the ad in a few moments time, but they're the details on screen for you right there. Get 20% off your Manscaped order, entire order, mate, and free shipping with promo code Xtra20 at manscaped.com. So massive shout outs to them.
Bro, before we get started, right?
Yo.
In the chat, Silver Badge, Alex says, Jordy, I'm the guy that made Freddie buy a pint for my dad and his mate. Do you remember, bro? He came up to us when we were sat there having drinks in Dortmund. And
yeah.
For the chat that you don't know, right, this is what happened. Basically, Freddie, for some reason, decided it'd be a great idea to put on the City Extra Instagram to say, if you find us, we will buy you a pint. And then we all agreed that it won't be us buying a pint, it'll be Freddie buying a pint because it was not our idea. And then Alex found us, and then so Freddie went and got him some for some reason, yeah.
For some reason, the reason he probably did that is because he was about 10 pints deep. That's why.
yeah, right handing it all the time, isn't it? But yeah, so shout out Alex. Good to meet you, mate.
Yeah, buzzing. Right, let's get into it then. Obviously, the game tomorrow, just a reminder, people, we are playing Leicester City away from home. And it is the early kickoff. It's a 12:30 UK time kickoff. So just bear that in mind for people who have, who didn't realise. And it is a little bit concerning because our away record of late isn't the best, but we'll get into that a bit later on. But this is about the press conference. And of course, it's not a press conference unless it's about Erling Haaland. And this one was centre stage on Erling Haaland. Pep Guardiola said, Erling Haaland, he said he feels better. We have training this afternoon and we will assess. We will see how he feels in his foot, and after we will decide. Everyone has trained well. I have to wait until they come back this afternoon to see how they feel. So it's one of them. You know what I mean? You can sort of spin this depending on which way you want to, which way, how empty your bottle is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the terminology is. You can go, okay, he's training. He seems all right, decent. You could also look at it and go, could be a doubt for tomorrow's game. And that's why we've gone with could be a doubt. He's not out of the game, but there's no guarantee that he will start the game tomorrow either, in my opinion. So we kind of need to see what happens. He's going to train this afternoon, of course, as Pep Guardiola said in the press conference. But right now, don't really know what's going to go on with Erling Haaland. The good news is, if he does miss the game tomorrow, it sounds like it was only going to be one game anyway. So he's going to be back for next weekend's game. He's not going to play Seville. Worst case scenario, it's going to be one game out. But with us playing at 12:30 tomorrow, I think we can go top of the league tomorrow as well. It's a massive, massive game to miss if he does indeed miss it. So fingers crossed, Erling Haaland's going to be fit, bro.
Yeah, the thing is, like you say, you can spin it whichever way you want. You can look at it as a positive and say, well, he's going to be training. So if he's going to be training, surely he's a lot better than what you imagine. Oh, and you could look at it and going, oh, he's not confirmed that he's fit. He's not confirmed that he's fit. So it's a weird one. I think it all depends on the way that he is when Pep sees him. Obviously, it's awkward timing all the time when it comes to his press conferences because the training is always this afternoon, never this morning. So every time we get this information, it's always going to be later on when we'll find out. I think if Pep was to say that he's not going to risk him, all that stuff would be in the embargo section anyway. So I think we might find some more news on this Erling Haaland thing tonight. He did speak about Haaland in the press conference. However, some of it might be embargoed till later on. He might speak about it more then. There is a big thing now of whether, say he trains later, bro, and Pep looks at him and goes, it's all right, looks good. Do you risk him or do you not risk him? Because like you say, it's a big game.
Well, let me give you the City's recent away form, bro, because this might change your opinion. Because there's some people in the chat already saying don't risk him, it's not worth it. But let me give you our away form, right? So if we go by date, here we go. Away from home Dortmund, 0-0. Away from home Liverpool, lost 1-0. Away from home Copenhagen, 0-0. We've not won an away game since the 17th of September against Wolves. So there are some people out there saying we can go top of the league. We can put that pressure back on Arsenal. We've not had the best away form recently. Play him. And I seen someone in the chat then just say, even if you've got to take him off after 60 minutes, just do that because here you go. It'll be worth it because, you know, if you can get a couple of goals, get us the 3 points, and that's worth it. I also do understand the people who are concerned saying it's not worth the risk. In terms of like the whole season, it's probably not worth the risk. It's one game, probably not worth the risk over the course of the whole season to play him. But I just feel that like, me personally, bro, if he trains this afternoon and he doesn't report any pain, I would play him for 60 minutes and I would gamble and just cross my fingers for the whole 60 minutes that he's on the pitch and just get him taken off. But I do completely understand where some people are coming from when they say don't risk it, it's not worth it.
I understand why people will want to leave him out. I get that, but it's a very important game, and if he does train well, if he trains well, surely he could do 60 minutes. Obviously, it's down to Pep on what the situation is, but obviously, fitness-wise, he's fine. It's more just whether his foot hurts, if it's hurting him or not. I think with there being 3 games left before the World Cup, I think he's got a chance to rest against Seville as well. He doesn't have to play that game. I think I'd be looking at playing 60 minutes this weekend. He's got a full rest then because it's not a big injury. Obviously, he's got cleared from the doctors. It's not a big injury. It's just whether it's hurting him or not. Honestly, I'd get him in this game for 60 minutes. So see if he can get a goal or two, get the game won, get him off the pitch. Then next week, he pretty much has a full week's rest, and then you can reassess the situation going into the next Premier League game, which I think that's the best way to do it. Now, I can see a few people in the chat, and a few people said this beforehand. And it's are we now turning to do the Dortmund thing of where Dortmund kept like the way that Harry Kane and Tottenham and the way that us with Haaland, and I think we are a little bit, yeah, but it's because he's so important to the team. But I don't know what it is. Like obviously beforehand we were like, yeah, we're not going to play him as much, but he's mint, so it's hard to not play him.
I hear that, yeah, and I think that's fair, but I'm only starting him tomorrow if he trains this afternoon and reports no pain.
Yeah, if he comes back and goes, I've got pain in my foot, nah, because that a small issue then could turn into a massive issue.
Exactly. So if he does have pain, I ain't starting him. But if he has no pain, then I don't see the point in not playing him. If he's reporting no pain, what's the point? Play him and just play him for 60 minutes, get him on, get him off. So that's where I'm at with it, man. But it's definitely an interesting one. Mukesh, member for 2 months, has sent in a member chat. Yes, thanks a lot for supporting the channel, bro. Says, thoughts on Mudryk? We seem to be in for him. Fabrizio Romano mentioned we are in for him, and there were City scouts at Celtic's game. Baller, in my opinion. It's funny, actually, because didn't mention him last night on the transfer show I did with Hugh, but he is a player that it appears that we are in for him. As you said, Fabrizio spoke about it. Maybe City have sent scouts to the games. He's a player that he's certainly, a player that I think a lot of clubs are keeping an eye on. And I think that's where we're at. I don't think we've got any firm interest in him right now, but I do think that he's a player, as there are many players around Europe. We know City like Leao. We know that they like Kvaratskhelia, which, by the way, my pronunciation on that's becoming
Kvaratskhelia. You don't think about it the way you've perfected in it. Don't think about how to say it, and you just do it.
But yeah, I think because we're only in October, I don't think we're in this position where we're proper deep in transfers right now, because the squad's in a healthy place, and I don't think we need to really make a firm, maybe other than a fullback. I don't really think we need to make a cast iron decision right now in October, when there's a World Cup and another 8 months to play. Do you know what I mean? So I just think City are just eyeing it up, scouting, working who will fit, working out the finances, all that kind of stuff. And sure, he's on the list, and it'll be interesting to see what City do in the summer. But I don't think we're on. Yeah, I don't think we're like making a firm commitment to get it. But I do like him, and he looks a decent player.
And I think it's smart, basically smart plays from City to get scouts out to all these people so that we can assess the situation going into the next window. I mean, we don't want to be going into it thinking, not knowing really. So City is going to send scouts everywhere just to try and look at all these different things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nick Toll with a super chat says, do you think England will ever allow Bezzers at the games? Well, you can get one in the concourse. I don't think you'll ever see him.
I don't think you'll allow them at the seats. You will not see like when we went to Dortmund, they had these like carry things with loads of pints in, and they were sick. You ain't seeing them in England. Not a chance. They ain't gonna allow that.
Buffy ain't that confident. Says we're going to draw 2-2 against Leicester. It's going to be a difficult game, despite their poor form this season. Leicester are a good side. He says Leicester either play really bad or score 5 goals. There you go. And they'll be up for this. They've got nothing to lose, have they, bro?
I mean, do you know when we played Villa, and it was just Villa would just go all out for it because it's to try and save Gerrard, and I hated that position to be in, and we ended up drawing that game. I feel like we're going to a very similar game. Basically, I feel the same about this Leicester game, and hopefully it doesn't end the same way. But I feel the same about it. Like they'll just go for it. Why not? They'll just go for it. Are they bottom?
No, I think they're not bottom anymore, bro. Because
they're 17th on 11 points. They're only 2 points off relegation zone.
But look at the form, bro. 4 games out of the last 5 unbeaten. They've only lost 1 in the last 5. Won 3 out of the last 5. Are they starting to turn a corner? I would probably say yes. They probably are, but
the only thing for them, which is a major concern, especially after they got rid of Schmeichel, is the fact that they're conceding goals left, right, and centre. 24 goals conceded,
and that's probably why if Haaland's fit, I would probably start him because of that exact reason. Femi has a different opinion. It says I would keep Haaland for the last 20 minutes. So you want to chase it in case it's going wrong, which. Is fair, and I think you'll get people agreeing with you, Femi. Me personally, I wouldn't go down that route. I think you've got a lot of people in the stream that might agree with you there, bro. But me personally, I wouldn't go down that route.
I can see the signs for that, because say if it gets to the 60th minute, 70th minute, and we're already winning, and say like in a dream scenario it's 3-0, then you don't have to put Haaland on. So you don't have to risk him. Then you just give him the time. Whereas I'm with you, LB. I would reverse that and do it the other way. Play him for 60 minutes and then the last 30 minutes.
I don't like chasing games. I don't like throwing players on.
Start your best team, innit?
Yeah. And what about if you throw him on with 20, 30 minutes, but with 2-0 down or with 1-0 down? Then it's even harder. Me, I always prefer get the game won, then take the players off. That's what I prefer.
Yeah.
We've got some more comments coming up from Pep Guardiola's press conference, but I want to say a massive shout out to the guys at Manscaped. You know what time it is? I want to see the Kiwis, the Cherries. I want you to spam the chat. You have permission from us and all the mods to spam the chat. Bro, are you going to play the ad break?
I'm going to roll it right now, innit?
Let's do it.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.
Yes. Go check out Manscaped. Use code X20 20% off and free shipping.
That's it, man.
That's the first time, bro, that I've heard the audio of that for a long time. Because obviously, when we do it on OBS, it's different. I've heard the OBS, like the actual audio of the ad for so long, and it's quite dramatic, you know. The background tune's quite dramatic.
It's a dramatic tune, bro.
As I was getting to the end of it, I was pretty hype. I was thinking, like, yo, this is sick.
We make sales for them. We make sales.
Yeah.
Right, let's carry on with the press conference. Pep talking earlier on ahead of the game tomorrow against Leicester. And on the form, I did mention it a few moments ago. Man City's away form, not won out of the last 3 away games. He says. He was asked, do you have any concerns on the form? He said, no, always we've been a good away, even better at home. In general, we are very good in many, many things. So Pep clearly not that concerned about the form. And to be honest with you, I think I have to agree. Despite it being slightly concerning, you look at the Dortmund game. The Dortmund game, we probably should have won. We missed a penalty. And the last 20 minutes, and to be honest, both sides didn't really care about the game because I think both teams were just happy where they were. Then you go back to the Liverpool game. Probably should have won that one, but Pep decided to do a madness with the tactics, and Cancelo made a mistake, so it's a loss. But should have at least drawn. Probably should have won the game. And then the Copenhagen away game, missed a penalty, had a man sent off, had a VAR goal disallowed, which was a bit sketchy. So again, mention this when we talked about form last time, and I just feel that. Yes, the form ain't great on paper, but if you actually look at it properly and deep the form a little bit rather than just going, oh, we've not won in the last 3, don't actually think it's as bad as people may be making out. So I think Pep's right there, bro, with the form. It's not a game that we should be taking lightly, and I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game, but if we do drop points, it's not. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with the form. I just think it's because we're not going to be good enough tomorrow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Because like I say, the form's dodgy because of all these mad things that have been going on and Pep doing weird stuff. However, is Pep going to do weird stuff for this game? And I say it worries me. It shouldn't worry me because trusting Pep and that, but it does worry me because it's mad. He does mad stuff, bro. I just think just play the best team. Play the best team. Do you know what I mean? Play the in my head, bro. A standard 4-3-3 will just work. It would just full send it. There you go. Okay, full send it. Just every time it's a standard 4-3-3. Not the mad stuff where Cancelo has to play right winger and right back. And when he's not either one of them, De Bruyne will slot in. Like, yeah, I'm not about that. And also a Akanji situation, throwing back at centre back, man. Like, it's just weird. It always feels like a missed opportunity when we're not full sending that. So, like you say, I don't think it'll be on the form because the form's weird. Like you say, loads of different permutations, loads of different things are happening during our games when you're like, right, this is weird. This is weird. Like Liverpool, weird. Copenhagen, weird. Obviously went away to Dortmund 3-0. I'd like to see a standard team tomorrow. I just hope Pep full sends a normal team. So at least if we have like a normal side and we do drop points, then you can look at it from a performance basis, not from a Pep basis of why has he done this? Why has he done this? Like, because when it's at 4-3-3, bro, we know where they know where they should be on the pitch, and we know how we play.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing about when you go 3 at the back. And don't get me wrong, like I have mentioned, and we both mentioned it, and I think probably a lot of people in the chat have mentioned during pre-season, during the beginning part of the season, that we kind of want to see the 3 at the back play at some point. One of the issues with the 3 at the back, you do have to work on it. It's not FIFA. It's not just a situation where you can just, let's play 3 at the back and it'll be fine. It's something that you have to work on, and this is why the Italians were so good at it when they used to play it all the time. Is because they used to play that only, pretty much. So they were very, very good at it. We've seen Mancini try to do it against Dortmund once, and it stunk the gaff out. We were absolutely awful. And I remember Mika Richards saying in the interview afterwards, saying he basically didn't know what the fuck he was doing because he's never played in a back 3 in his whole career, and so they're positionally. It is complete playing centre back in a back 4 compared to playing centre back in a back 3 is completely different. So it's no surprise to me that when you look at someone like Akanji, whose first couple of games were in a back 4, looked mega, absolutely superb. Then he goes into the back 3, and I didn't like him at all. I thought he looked really poor and just looked like he didn't know what he was meant to be doing. And some of the other players, and then it goes into the midfield where the midfielder's meant to be. You know what I mean? So if you're going to go for it, I think it's something that you have to work on the training pitch. I think you have to give it a number of games, and you might drop points in them games. So you might want to try them out in games like Seville in match day 6 where nothing's on the line. But yeah, for me, I'm in agreement with most people here in the chat, man. I want to see just a standard 4-3-3 because we can go top of the league tomorrow. We can put pressure back on Arsenal. Arsenal not won a game in 2 matches now, 2 games without a win. A draw and a loss. They lost last night against PSV 2-0. I know they played a slightly weakened side, but it doesn't matter because ultimately it's all about momentum. It's about form, especially when you're someone like Arsenal. It is about form. It is about momentum because it's not really the quality that's keeping up there. It's not Arteta's managerial tactics because you can't say that because they've not done it yet. So it is all momentum. So I want to win. I'm desperate to win tomorrow to get top of the league because I feel that once we're top of the league, obviously Arsenal play after us, but I think once we're there and we clear it, I think we'll go on and we'll just destroy the league because Arsenal won't be able to catch us.
Open the gap up a bit more. Like I say, obviously, there are difficult games in a few weeks. I mean, for Arsenal and stuff. Is it Chelsea next weekend? They've got. I think it is. I think it is Chelsea next weekend, which is pretty mad. And even just being top playing before them, bro, puts pressure on.
Yeah,
it just puts pressure on. So it is what it is. David JS with a member chat 14 months. Yes, David, mate. Madison is the threat from set pieces. Can see it being close as it usually is at their place, but can see us picking them off at some stage. I hope so, mate. Obviously, the Leicester haven't had the best season so far. Brendan Rodgers looks like he's begging to get out of that job. So hopefully he can.
Yeah, I agree. But do you reckon now they've picked up a little bit of form?
It's switching.
Like he doesn't want to be sacked anymore.
Yeah, maybe he's changed his mind. Maybe that's why the form's picking up, bro, because he changed his mind and was like, you know what? Actually, it's not bad, this. But yeah, I hope we can just pick him off, David. Obey with the 499. LB not in the City Studio again. I just seen a few people as well saying, is LB still in Germany? LB's not in Germany.
Why do people think I'm in Germany, man?
You know the worst part.
Go back on his own.
Yeah, the worst part is why would I ain't gonna leave you in Germany. I just went, yeah, sit a bit, LB. You stay here for the week. Yeah, LB is not in Germany. Obeyed with the 499 says let's play 4-2-4. But then he says with another 499, he says silly me 4-3-4. So he's full sending it. He's full sending it. No goalkeeper, all of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, Edison, the way he plays, he's basically another centre back.
He basically is a centre back, so
it works.
Yeah. Mahrez may be struggling because of Akanji right back. Mukesh, that could be a shout. It could be a shout in some cases. When Mahrez cuts back and he's looking for maybe a little bit of help on that right hand side, we see Walker does push up a little bit at times, so he can make that pass back. However, Akanji kind of doesn't want to commit too much. So it may be, but I think there's a bit more to Mahrez right now. I don't think his finishing's on point. And it's going to be interesting to see if he starts tomorrow. Personally, I don't think he will. I think because of the limelight, it's getting cooked at the moment, Riyad Mahrez.
I agree.
I'm not the real Buffy with the 449. Spurs have Bournemouth tomorrow and have Liverpool next week. Spurs have got Bournemouth tomorrow, Liverpool next week. Arsenal have got Notts Forest this weekend, and they've got Chelsea next week. It's mad. Next week is mad for fixtures. This weekend not so mad.
No, I completely agree. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Nearly 500 people in already, man. Let's get those likes up past 200. 40 people, please hit that thumbs up button. Get us past the 200 like mark. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be going live tonight doing a preview. Jordan's what are you like, bro? Like a gig in it sort of thing.
Bongo bingo, mate.
I've actually never been, man.
It's not the legit bongo bingo. It's like a corporate bongo bingo thing that I'm going to.
Fair enough.
So that makes it sound posh, that doesn't it? Like
It does.
I'm not a posh boy. Look at the way I speak.
So preview tonight. Well, we'll go through the prediction 11 and all that, and then of course we've got the watch along tomorrow. So make sure you hit the notification bell. So you're going to say that. And again, massive shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's stream. If you guys want to pick up yourself anything off the website and get 20% discount and free shipping, use code Xtra20 and that will get you that 20% off and the free shipping, man. So use the code as much as you want. Pep Guardiola speaking about Leicester's form, and we just mentioned the form, and Guardiola again says Leicester are in their best moment of the season, so it will be tough as usual. Brendan Rodgers reacts best when things are going wrong. So a lot of respect there from Pep Guardiola to Brendan Rodgers, and it does appear that they have probably turned turned a corner to where they were at the beginning of the season, because they were really, really struggling. But one defeat in the last 5, 3 wins out of the last 5, and 1 draw. That's good form. That is top of the table form, top table form. And it's interesting to see what it's going to be. So I just think that when we're going into this game, I think people need to understand that we're not playing Leicester of 5-6 weeks ago. We're playing Leicester of now, who appear to be in good form. Maddison seems to have picked up a little bit of form, and I don't think he played last week because he was suspended. So I think he's had a full week off. I think, but he was definitely suspended, so he has had a bit of time off anyway. And he's in some decent form as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. You know what I mean? This is why we need to take it fully seriously and fully attack the game, because it's not going to be easy, I don't think.
No, and I think it'd be an L from City and Pep to just go away to Leicester, bro, and then just imagine like it's going to be an easy game and just go out there and play in first gear. Can't be doing that. You need to go ham. We need to be at our best, because at the end of the day, if you want to play in first gear, do it when you're like 3-0, 4-0 clear. Don't start off the game like that. I don't want to see the slow City that we see a few times. I don't want to see that side of the game. I want us to attack. And go out there, and hopefully we can get the game won at a reasonable time to maybe save Erling Haaland.
No, completely agree. Got some more super chats here that I want to go through. David said, "Did you see Haaland look alike in Dortmund?" I didn't see him, but
I didn't see him. I didn't even see him on Twitter.
I seen him on Twitter. He did look like him too. I just thought he was his brother or something. Nick Tall says, I don't know who that is, bro. Said Pep wanted to play Neuer in midfield.
Romanej, is that the Bayern Munich Donny, like one of the board?
Some old Don, probably, bro. But that doesn't surprise me. At all.
Yeah, well, it would not surprise me.
Benno with the 449 says, yes, lads, hope you had a good trip. It's my birthday today, so all day sesh tomorrow. Early kickoff actually suits me for once. I don't think Pep risks Haaland. So happy birthday.
Yes. Benno, happy birthday, mate. Don't be getting kicked out in our pubs this weekend just because it's your birthday. You know what I mean? You still don't have that free pass. Yes, Benno, happy birthday, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let's go through some more injury news, because there was a lot of injury talk in this press conference. Let's go to Kyle Walker and Calvin Phillips. So Pep Guardiola speaking about these two. He says they are not ready for Leicester. They are better, Calvin especially, but they are out. This is super interesting, because like we was all expecting him to come back in like basically just before the World Cup, but then like 2 weeks ago or like a week ago, there's a press conference and Pep Guardiola was like, yeah, Phillips is doing sick. And everyone was like, why? Like, what do you mean he's doing sick? That means it seems like he's going to be back quite soon. And he had a little bit more to say on this, actually. He says, On Calvin Phillips, he says he feels really well. Mobility in his shoulder is perfect. He has had to avoid contact with teammates at the moment. If he's fit, and I believe he can play, then maybe we can take some minutes before the World Cup. So it sounds really, really promising for Calvin Phillips. It sounds like he's going to be back a few weeks earlier than everyone expected, which is obviously good news for us, good news for him, and probably good news for England as well, with obviously him being quite an important player for Gareth Southgate's side. So whilst it was frustrating that we signed him and then he had this injury and he had to get the surgery, I think once he's back, and especially going into 2023, I think we'll all look back on this period and go, you know what? It was probably the correct decision for him to go and get that surgery, rather than every couple of months, or he's out for a couple of weeks because he's got a dodgy shoulder. I think it was the correct decision.
I feel like with Calvin Phillips, his City career hasn't really started yet. Like, we didn't see him play that many games or that many minutes, basically because he was nursing this shoulder injury, and he just this kept recurring. He full sent it because he wants to be fit for the World Cup, and it's looking like that it was a great decision. But also there was the thing of when we first spoke about this, when it was first announced that he's gone for this shoulder injury, that he wouldn't have gone had he been ruled out for the World Cup. He would have waited till after the World Cup, then gone then. So I'm there you go, Dash. He didn't have a start for us yet. That's pretty mad. That I'm looking forward to Calvin Phillips be back, because there's a lot of pressure on Rodri to stay fit. Obviously Gundogan came in when Rodri was out and actually played really well. But I'm just looking forward to Calvin Phillips actually making a start. And I think,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, Cal there that's a great chat. That you can. It's basically now becoming a January signing. He's basically a player for January, not for right now. But it's exciting to see, because I think he'll have a big part to play in this City side.
Me too.
I see people write him off already, and it's like, you can't write him off. The guy's not even playing any games.
You know what? There are some proper dumb fans out there. I've seen fans saying, "Oh, he's sat on the bench all season." Well, you're not sat on the bench.
Mate, what you on about?
All season.
Yeah.
People just weird. On the World Cup thing that you just mentioned there, Pep Guardiola was asked about Kyle Walker and Phillips' chances of making the World Cup. He said, they are both positive, optimistic. They are both in touch with Gareth Southgate. I don't know. Hopefully, they can be ready to be selected. In my opinion, I think that Calvin Phillips, it's weird. Calvin Phillips is going to be back before Walker, but Walker, in my opinion, has got a better chance of being selected. And the reason I think that is because I think if Kyle Walker is back at a week before they fly, I think he goes, because I think they have to take him. I think with Reece James being injured, I think they have to take him. Even if he doesn't play any of the group games, Gareth takes him. With Calvin Phillips, I think maybe he'll have to prove his fitness a little bit more than Walker. So, but it sounds like he's going to be back in time to do that. And I think we've got we'll have a Chelsea match. I think there's a good chance that Calvin Phillips might play in that game if he's back. If he's back by then, there's a good chance he'll play. I think that if he's on the bench, I think Pep Guardiola would put him on for the last 20, 30 minutes in every game up until the World Cup to give Phillips the best opportunity to be selected. But yeah, I just feel that Calvin Phillips needs to prove himself a little bit more with his fitness than maybe Walker, just because Walker's more important to the team and important to the squad.
Yeah, because and there's a lot of, I think there's a lot more trust in Kyle Walker to, once he's fit, to stay fit and to just smash it anyway, even if he's got a week before he comes back. Whereas Calvin Phillips, like you say, I think they'll test him a bit more as well, especially with it being like full surgery mode for Calvin Phillips. You won't want to re-up anything. But very positive news on both of them, which is mint.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not the real Buffy with a 449 super chat. Yes, bro. Thanks for the support, man. Said, did you see Anthony Showboating last night for United? I did, and it was very, 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 very funny. I found it hilarious. The thing is, right, it's one of these things, that it's like, he looks like a fool, and he probably is a fool for doing it, but, you know, it's not that deep, man. You know what I mean? Like, I seen managers going sick at him, like, you know, like pundits and that saying, it's a disgrace. I mean, it's not a disgrace. It's funny, and he looks like an idiot, but it's not a disgrace. You know what I mean? People need to calm down a little bit.
He's showboating that, and I get it. Like, I get it. But
showboating at 0-0. That's why it's dumb.
The thing is as well, he does it, and then the pass afterwards goes nowhere.
That's why it's funny. So
it's like, it's just a rip. It's just a stupid thing.
Did you see the Romero one? Or was it Chicken Royale? Actually, I think it was Chicken Royale. for Spurs when he did the no-look pass and just passed it out for a goal kick?
No, I'm not seeing that.
You know what I mean? So
That's well funny.
At the end of the day, if you do something like that and it doesn't come off, you're going to get roasted.
You are going to
That's
get
how
roasted.
it is.
Like
Balotelli did it in the pre-season game when he did some weird backflip and Mancini subbed him off, and he got roasted on social media.
Yeah, he no-look shot. It was 1-on-1, wasn't it, as well? He no-look shot it. He missed it. I think it was an open net. Yeah, guy got dusted. He did like a
He deserves to be roasted for it because it's funny, but people need to calm down for it. You know, what I mean, it's not that deep to be honest.
It ain't that deep. People are going sick. I think there was a full show on it, kind of thing. Like pretty much.
It's weird. A little bit more injury news, and obviously a little bit more on Erling Haaland. Of course, if you had just joined us, Erling Haaland is a little bit of a doubt from tomorrow because due to a foot injury. It's nothing serious, but there is a chance that he doesn't play. Pep Guardiola says if Haaland doesn't play, then Alvarez is the natural first option to replace him. I don't judge Julian on how many goals he's scored. Play 90 minutes every game and Alvarez will score goals. Maybe not like Haaland, but he will score goals. And I think Alvarez is going through a little bit of a tougher time at the moment, just due to the fact that he's getting really unlucky. Like he started the Copenhagen game, game's over after 30 minutes. Started the game against Dortmund. He plays in a dead game because no one wants that. The players just weren't that arsed. So I just feel like he's not looking. And then he's being subbed on with 20 minutes to go and with 3-0 up. And that doesn't help him because the game's dead and the players are just like, let's just see the game out. So I just feel like Julian Alvarez, I just feel like he's not looking great, but he's not looking great because of the games he's playing in, my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? So if he does start tomorrow, these are the games that you'll judge him because he'll be playing in a team that needs to win the game. He'll be playing in a team where he's playing in a full strength squad. So they're the games you judge him. I'm not judging him against Dortmund or against Copenhagen or against gets subbed on with 20 minutes to go when we're 4-0 up. I don't care. They're not. That's just Pep resting players and getting him some minutes. If he starts tomorrow, this is the real McCoy. These are the games that he needs to perform.
Yeah. This is where you want to be seeing it because if Haaland's out, then we need to know whether we can rely on Alvarez for the goals and that, and whether we basically want to see more of him in the game when Haaland's out. And I think tomorrow is a big opportunity for that if Haaland doesn't start, which is. Again, it's exciting for Alvarez because he relatively still feels like the unknown because we've not seen the best of him yet and we've not seen him fully integrated.
Yeah, I agree. Dave Rocky with the 5 says City's last few games have not been up to standard. We need to have a good game tomorrow because Leicester are a good team on their day. They've not been up to standard, but I don't think they've been up to standard due to a variety of reasons that maybe are not 100% down to the players. However, you do that for too long, and then that can properly impact your real form. I look at the away form, and I sort of look at it recently and go, it ain't real. It doesn't tell the true picture because Liverpool, we played a dodgy team. Copenhagen, we had a man sent off and got a VAR goal, probably dodgily ruled out. And against Dortmund, the game was dead before it even started. So I accept the point that it is correct, but I feel that maybe it isn't a true picture. However, there is sometimes if you do that for too long, it can start to impact your real game, and you don't want to do that. Tomorrow, it's early kickoff. That's a rip. You're playing an informed Leicester. That's a rip. You're playing a Leicester side that really doesn't have much to lose tomorrow. That's a rip. And we've not won a game in the last 3 away games. That's probably a rip as well. And to add a 5th onto there to make it worse for anyone, Haaland might not play. So the team has to perform. Pep Guardiola, he called Spurs a Harry Kane team a few years ago. That might come back to bite him on the arse if we start dropping points when Haaland doesn't play. Promise you.
That is very, very,
I guarantee,
very true.
I guarantee if we start dropping points without Haaland, Tottenham fans will rig that out somewhere and boom.
Yeah, that'll be up straight away. Tomorrow, if we drop points, that'll be up straight away. If Haaland doesn't play tomorrow and we drop points, that'll straight away be all over social media, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Nick, I would have thought into that. Imagine Ronaldinho playing in front of these pundits. Well, it was that same thing of Neymar. When Neymar did the rainbow flick and got booked.
Yeah, that's dumb though because that's a legit skill.
It's a legit thing. I don't understand. Yes, he's flexing that he's doing a rainbow flip, but you know what I mean? Don't be salty because he just dusted a man and be saying, "Oh, he's disrespectful." Like the guy's just skillful. Like if that's disrespectful, bro, Ronaldinho would have been getting yellow cards left, right, and center. Guy was mint.
Yeah, I don't get the whole moaning about it. I get the whole laughing about it when it goes wrong.
When it goes wrong, yeah, laugh about it because it's a roast. They're just making himself look like a dick.
Yeah. Sky's the limit now. I didn't see it, bro. Not gonna lie. As soon as I finished the stream last night with Hugh, I went to bed, man. I was absolutely knackered after the trip, so I didn't see it. I believe it was a very good episode, though, man.
Yeah,
so,
apparently, bro, it was sick, and it's probably one to rewatch. But obviously, we did like a 14-hour day of traveling, so I think we both died yesterday.
I know. Final comments then from Pep Guardiola in this press conference. Remember, there will be more comments coming out later on tonight when the embargo section is released. But Pep Guardiola was speaking about Akanji, and he said, "You never know when a player comes, what's going to happen. As you say, he's adapted well. We are delighted with his attitude and how he is in the locker room. And this just is a really good signing for City. We said, since day one, this is just a smart move, and it shows that the business side of things at City, with the transfers and the footballing side, are just they're a match made in heaven at the moment. We've got this guy for 15 million quid. He come in and started playing centre back, and he looked absolutely incredible, and he was probably our best centre back on form at the time. He's then been moved out to right back or right sided centre back in a 3. Hasn't looked as good there in my opinion, but still putting in a half decent shift. Kind of got roasted a little bit in the last game against Brighton, but other than that, just hasn't looked great, but hasn't looked bad. He just hasn't looked comfortable. But 15 million quid, guys, and he strengthened our back line. And in an emergency situation, he can play in the right hand side. You know what I mean? You got to understand, is our third choice right back, because if you think about it, Walker's our first choice. I would say Kyle Walker, John Stones is probably second choice, because I don't think he trusts Gomez that much on the left hand side. So I think he'd rather play John Stones in the right than Cancelo. And then you've got Akanji. So in theory, is our third choice. And then maybe even our fourth choice if you do consider Cancelo a right back. But I think he doesn't trust Gomez at the moment. So for me, I think he's more of a third choice. So, what do people want, man? Do you know what I mean? What do people want sometimes when they see this guy playing? If he has a bad game, well, he ain't our first choice there. I think he ain't
our first choice there, but he's also out of position there. Like,
yeah, correct.
Throw him back in at centre back, and the guy will probably slam again.
Exactly.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
£50 million for Akanji is looking like an absolute bargain.
I know, and I would say as well, bro, that in my opinion, if Erling Haaland had costed more money than he did, I'd have Akanji down for potentially one of the signings of the season so far. But he's not because Haaland was so cheap. If Haaland cost like 130 mil, then you might go, oh well, you know what I mean, it did cost 130 mil. But because he only cost 50, you can't really say that Haaland's obviously going to get signing of the season. But Akanji come in for 15 million quid, and when he's played in his proper position, he's looked our best centre back. No gas. That's true. So it's just a brilliant move, just a smart move.
Well, we said before he started this right back stint, we were saying that at the moment, Akanji's looking like one of the first people on the team sheet. Because out of the centre backs, he looked the most solid out of all of them, including Ruben Diaz. So he was always first on the list. And like I said, I just hope, obviously, with players coming back like Walker, John Stones, I think he will naturally move back in some centre back positions, which I'm looking forward to. So we don't have to, you know what I mean, fans, us, no one has to complain about him playing right back anymore. But like I say, it's a great option to have him there, and he has played there and done half decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I completely agree, man. I completely agree. That's pretty much it from the comments. And I'm gonna just have a quick check to make sure I've not missed anything.
He did confirm. Pep did confirm that Ederson will start. I know people were saying, that was a given anyway. People were saying about Ortega potentially starting because of how good of a game he had against Dortmund.
Well, that's probably a good area to have a quick discussion on before we end the stream. I mean, what do people think about Ortega? Because I thought he had a really good game. Now, I'm not saying that he had much to do. I think a lot of the saves that he made, I probably would have expected him to make. Where he really impressed me, I thought he was excellent on the ball. You know what I mean? I didn't really see too much difference between him and Ederson. Now, fair play, we was about 15 pints deep and a half a bottle of rum at this point. But to me, bro, I don't really remember him putting a foot wrong with the ball at his feet. And it gives me confidence that if Ederson ever gets injured, at this moment in time, I have confidence that he's not going to shit the bed like a Stefan did.
Yeah. I have that confidence. I think he can step in. I also think that he's pretty much nailed on to start against Seville. I think I don't see Ederson playing that.
I think he'll try. I think he'll start against Chelsea as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think he'll start against Chelsea as well. Which is I'm genuinely so happy with our goalkeeping position at the moment. And then again, bro, if he had a full stint in the team, Ortega, you'd be looking at that as another bargain, bro, because we got him for free.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't it?
It is crazy. Mukesh there says Ortega should be the Champions League keeper and Ederson for the league. I do know some teams do that.
PSG do that with Donnarumma and who's the other Donny? Who's it? Navas.
I just think that because of the way that this team is programmed, I think you have to have Ederson in for the majority of the games. I think Pep Guardiola is happy to throw Ortega in for the dead Champions League games. I think he's happy to throw him in for the League Cup and the FA Cup games. But there ain't no way that this guy's going to start league games or proper Champions League games. It's just not going to happen.
Super chat here from Johnny Pod. It is my dad. With 179 says Haaland's foot was a manufacturing error. He's good.
He's good.
Hope so, mate. Just overdo it.
He's got warranty in it. He's got warranty.
Warranty. Yeah. Just replace the foot. That name's goated. Love it. Other than that, though, I don't actually know what else there is. I think that's it for the press conference.
That's
anyway.
it. That's it. Yeah, that is it for now.
There's a lot more in that than last week. Anyway, do you remember last week we did the press conference? We spoke about it for 10 minutes. That was it.
Yeah. Nah, it's pretty mad. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the press conference. Like I say, there will be more information out later on when the embargo section is completely released. But basically, to summarise where we're at, Haaland's a doubt for tomorrow. He's going to train, and it's going to be a situation where they're going to assess him. So will they risk him? Will they not risk him? We'll find out tomorrow. If he doesn't play, then Alvarez has been given the nod. Ederson's playing. It's looking good for Calvin Phillips. He should be back in a couple of weeks' time. He travelled with the squad to Germany, which is obviously positive. And he's saying he's got full mobility in that shoulder now. So in theory, the only thing holding him back now is probably his fitness because he's missed a couple of months. So he should be back relatively quick. So things are looking good for us right now. Things are healthy. You know what I mean? As soon as we get Kyle Walker back, which probably we're not going to get him back before the World Cup. I'll be surprised if he played any games before the World Cup. But once we get him back after the World Cup, provided we don't get any injuries in that, which is a big if because obviously it's a big tournament, then we're ready to go. We're ready to go. All we have to do right now, this is what I say. I want to be top of the league, but I keep saying to people on the streams, but you don't get anything from being top of the league in October. You get something for being top of the league in May. That's when it matters. All we need to do right now is just stay at the top, keep momentum up, keep winning games, stay in all the competitions that we can possibly stay in. And then when we're back from the World Cup, send it. You know what I mean? That's when we send it. This time here, this is where you lose it. This is where Liverpool have potentially lost the league in this first part of it. Because you can't win it, but you can lose the league in this period. So let's just stay at the top. And ideally, if you can be top of the league, good. But if not, no problem. Let's just stay in touching distance with Arsenal, and then let's send it after the World Cup.
We said this last year when we was a bit off the pace, and I think Chelsea had the chance to go 9 points clear or something like that. And we're saying you need to stay with the pack. Because I think at that time it was Chelsea and Leicester, and we said we can't let that gap get too big. Obviously, it was 4 points the other week against Arsenal. If you start dropping more points and it keeps going further and further away, you need to basically keep as close as possible with that pack. So you're there when they drop points, that you're there for the taking. Johnny Poy's my dad with 179. LBI made a new account and super chats. Says L Yates. Yes. Johnny Poy, my dad.
Buzzing. Right, okay, well, we'll wrap it up here. I'll be live tonight for a preview for the game, so hopefully you guys can make that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. We'll leave you with the Manscaped ad, but just let you know, I'm doing the Mank Talk now with Saeed over on the Saeed channel, Saeed TV. So if you've got some free time, you want to come and have a little bit of a Man United versus Man City debate, head over to the Mank Talk. Saeed kicks off in 7 minutes. But other than that, see you tonight. If not, see you tomorrow. Peace out.
See the bits.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.